Hello, welcome to HBM's Crypto-Corner for Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. It's September already. That means upcoming cooler weather, thankfully. After the fairly hot summer that we had here in Mississippi, it's going to be a welcome relief. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about the weather. I'm here to talk about cryptids. So, we got a few things to talk about, so let's get started. Holographic camera photographs micro monsters lurking in Loch Ness. Now take a look at that. That's one of the micro monsters. It's just a small organism is all it is. A state-of-the-art holographic camera captured photos of various quote-unquote micro monsters lurking in the waters of Loch Ness. The enlightening project was reportedly the result of a collaboration between the Loch Ness Center tourist attraction and researchers with the University of Aberdeen School of Engineering. The latter group developed the device, dubbed the Wee HoloCam, that is capable of producing several thousand digital holographic images of microscopic marine organisms in one dive. Keen to see how the camera would perform in fresh water for the first time, the researchers reached out to the Loch Ness Center, which worked with them to deploy it at the famed Scottish site. So, if these cameras can record and film this stuff, can they also be utilized to actually film Nessie if it still exists? If Nessie hasn't died off. There are those who say that they're still there. Of course, it would have to be more than one of them. Otherwise, it's not a viable breeding population. So, the thing is about the water in Loch Ness, it's very peaty. It's very, very murky. So it would be a bit difficult to film something down there. You would think it would be difficult anyway. But if you recall, back in the 70s, they were able to get photographs of what appeared to be fins or flippers of alleged Nessie, of at least one alleged Nessie. And that was back in the 70s. So, who knows? Do we have the technology to get these kind of photos? Be cool if we did. Video. Cavalcade of cryptids featured on new scratch ticket from Oregon Lottery.
And from Sasquatch to Dogman, a new lottery ticket features Oregon monsters.
There's new scratches hit stores this month. The $5 tickets feature 5 of Oregon's elusive monsters who live in the state's most dark and remote corners. From the scruffy Sasquatch we all know, known as Bigfoot, to the lesser-known monsters like Dogman or Devil's Lake Monster. On the back of each ticket, you'll find a brief description of the local lore associated with each creature. Ticket's top prize is $30,000.
Do you know anything? Do you know anything about Dogman?
I'm going to look him up, though.
Okay, all right. We need someone to write to us. All right, we need some more information on Dogman. Clearly, all right. But let's switch gears here. Before we go more moving forward, we've been doing a lot of research while you were talking about the weather. I'm sorry. We've learned a lot about Dogman. All right, and we've basically learned that he's kind of a wolf man hybrid.
Which would make sense. His name is Dogman.
Yeah, makes sense. Lives off of roadkill in the wooded areas of Oregon. And there is a Dogman the musical that exists. There is a Dogman Encounters website.
Not to be confused with the Michigan Dogman, which is a different Dogman.
Yeah, please. We all knew that going in, but we just need to make sure. So that is a dog.
That's what he sounds like.
That's why we pay our directors a big bucks. Yeah, thanks so much. All right. And welcome back, guys. Before we go, First off, I've just been obsessed with Dogman. I don't know what you guys have been doing the past.
We've been listening to you.
Not looking it up like you.
There's a website where you can find every report that anyone has ever submitted for a Dogman sighting.
You know what some other people might be looking at?
What's
what
that?
the school forecast is going to be like tomorrow for kids.
Tomorrow for the morning, back to the 60s. In the afternoon, you'll see the 70s. But the thing is, we'll see decreasing cloud cover as the day goes on. The rest of the week, we are warming up into the 90s.
I'm just saying it's really fitting I learned about Dogman on National Dog Day.
Yes,
just
perfect.
Saying.
It is super fitting.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do something into the 6 o'clock hour about Dogman as well.
We'll be talking about it for a while.
I hope so.
We will. We're back with more local news in a half hour, right after World News Tonight with David Muir.
Well, I think Dogman is nothing more than perhaps mass hysteria and misidentified Sasquatch. But that's just my personal opinion. Now, I think it's actually pretty cool that they have these lottery tickets, these lottery scratch tickets with cryptids on them. They put everything else on scratch tickets. Why not put cryptids on them? And of course, it's not necessarily an endorsement of cryptids saying, oh yeah, they exist and they're real. But it's still pretty neat nonetheless. And, kudos to Oregon for doing this, even if they don't necessarily believe in cryptids. Like I say, it's still pretty cool. Want to highlight a blog. This is Dr. Haskell Hart's blog, bigfootclaims.blogspot.com. Want to highly recommend his book, The Sasquatch Genome Project, a failed DNA study. Which goes into the ins and outs of Melba Ketchum's supposed DNA study of supposed Sasquatch, which turned out to be nothing more than bears, dogs, and humans. But she so arrogantly tried to claim, no, there's no bear in this study. There's no dog in this study. Well, most actual geneticists found that there was dog and bear DNA in the study. Not Sasquatch, not primate. So, Dr. Ketchum should just give it up. She was essentially outclassed by Dr. Hart and others. Her study was very flawed, and the book explains why. It's a little dry as far as the book is concerned, as far as science stuff, but it's very well written and it's very informative. I highly recommend the book and the blog, and the link for this will be down below. So check it out. Here's something very cool, a forensic analysis of the Patterson-Gimlin film. In the summer of 2021, I had an idea that I thought would make for an interesting forensic analysis of the Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967. I shared this idea with the Expedition Bigfoot producers, and last night, June 12, 2022, the results finally aired in the United States. See Travel Channel's Expedition Bigfoot S3E13, A Massive Discovery. My idea was to laser scan the Patterson-Gimlin site and then overlay the data with the film footage. Back in the day, we used to call this workflow perspective matching. The scan data is super accurate and 1.1 in terms of scale, so you can make very accurate measurements from it. By properly overlaying the film onto the scan data, determining a myriad of biomechanical and environmental measurements becomes possible. All I had to ask the production team was, Suppose I could tell you how tall the creature is. They were all in. And he determined that Patty was only about 6'3". I know Bill Munn's tried to claim 7'6", but even he has actually revised his opinion on that. And that was 15 years ago. And this guy used all kinds of technology to actually map the site, the Patterson Gimlin film site. And he was able to determine that Patty was only about 6'3" or so. Which, if you think about it, and if you are of the opinion that the film shows the guy in a suit, it's within the realm of human range. It's within human range. Doesn't necessarily prove it's a hoax, but it really doesn't move the bar forward in proving the film shows natural Sasquatch either. So the PG film was one of those unknowns. I mean, let's just be honest, that's what it is. It's an unknown. We won't know until an actual body is brought in. If the body looks a lot like Patty, then we can say, yes, Patty was real. But until that time, we may as well take a pretty neutral stance on the PG film. Could be real, could not be real. At least that's my position. And hey, I might be wrong. But I think it's a good position to take, to be quite honest. Bigfoot is still huge in western Pennsylvania. The cryptozoological phenomenon Bigfoot is normally associated with the Pacific Northwest, but Pennsylvania is an unlikely hotbed of sightings, so it makes sense that director of the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Society, Eric Altman of West Hempfield Township, can bring so many would-be fellow researchers to the area for the Pennsylvania Bigfoot camping adventure. And that's this upcoming weekend, by the way. The two-day event has been happening in its current form on and off since 2016 and will be held this year at Benner's Meadow Run Camping and Cabins in Farmington from September 6th to the 7th. Participants may get to gain some first-hand experiences of their own. According to Matt Moneymaker, president of the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization and host of the long-running Animal Planet series Finding Bigfoot, a reported encounter with the elusive cryptids from very close to home just came in August 15th. It's only a few hundred yards from one from the fall of 2022, he said in an interview. The encounter occurred on the Ghost Town Trail between Nancy Glo and Evansburg in Cambria County. Interesting. So, I think that there is enough forested land, and plus you have the Chestnut Ridge, where these creatures could live. I think there is enough land in Pennsylvania for a small population of these creatures. Not necessarily a large population, but still a fairly large population. Well, small population, I'm sorry. Although maybe there was a larger population on the Chestnut Ridge, who knows? But still, I wish Eric and all the speakers and other organizers and participants in the Bigfoot camping adventure to have a good time. Hope it's a fun event. Hope it's a successful event. Here's something cool. The 5 absolute best Bigfoot movies plus a bonus 6th. Here's a shot from the movie Exists. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, has been a part of North American folklore for centuries. The elusive and mysterious creature, described as a large, hairy, ape-like being, has captured the imaginations of people around the world. As a result, it has become a popular subject in cinema, with numerous films exploring the legend of Bigfoot in various ways. From horror to comedy, the myth of Bigfoot has been brought to life on the big screen in countless ways. In this article, we will delve into the 5 absolute best Bigfoot movies, discussing why each stands out in the genre, and we'll include a bonus 6th film that you absolutely shouldn't miss. Exists. Number 1 is The Legend of Boggy Creek, naturally. Number 2 is Willow Creek. Number 3 is Harry and the Hendersons. I agree with that. Number 4 is Abominable. I've got the Blu-ray of this one. Number 5 is The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. That was with Sam Elliott. And the bonus one is Exists. Now, to me, Exists is the best modern day Bigfoot movie. They did a really good job with the costume in that movie. Really good looking costume. So a pretty cool article. And you guys can read it for yourself. I'll include the link down below, of course. And here's an article from over a year ago. Bigfoot sightings. Which states have the most? Whether you call it Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or Yeti, there are plenty of folks all over the country who claim they've seen one. According to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, the top state for Sasquatch sightings is Washington, where there have been 708 credible sightings. This comprehensive database of credible sightings and related reports is maintained by an all-volunteer network of Bigfoot/Sasquatch researchers, archivists, and investigators in the United States and Canada, the BFRO, the organization said. Other states with significant Bigfoot sightings include California with 461, Florida with 338, Ohio with 318, and Illinois with 302. According to Britannica, a Bigfoot is a large, hairy, human-like creature that some believe exists in the northwestern region of the U.S. and western Canada. It seems to represent the North American counterpart of the Himalayan region's mythical monster, the abominable snowman, or Yeti. And the top 5 states are Washington, California, Florida, Ohio, and Illinois. Number 6 is Oregon. Number 7 is Texas. Number 8 is Michigan. Number 9 is Missouri. Georgia is number 10. 11 is Colorado. 12 is Pennsylvania. 13 is New York. Kentucky, number 14. And Oklahoma, number 15. So, there you go. Of course, the state that has the most is probably one of the more famous states to have sightings and reports. That being Washington State. Pretty cool stuff. Finally, I want to highlight a couple of things. First of all, there's a new channel on YouTube called Bigfoot Forensics. And the cool thing about this guy, he's a cop, but he's also a forensics expert. He's also a latent fingerprint expert. He's applying actual science to Sasquatch research. Guy's name is David Zigan, Zigan. In case you're interested in adding him on Facebook, he is on Facebook, by the way. And he's got 8 videos up so far on his channel. Some very cool stuff going on here. I truly like the videos that he has released. Also want to highlight he does have a website, BigfootForensics.com. He also has a list of must-visit sites. But yeah, this guy, he seems to know what he's talking about. He seems to know what he's doing. Which is more of what we need in this field, to be quite honest. I'm going to be following him very closely, I can tell you that. But so far, he's got some good stuff. He's doing some good stuff. I highly recommend everybody check him out. And that's going to do it for this week. We want to thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are the heart of the show. I always say that, but I always mean it. And I will continue to do this as long as you guys want me to. And hey, until next week, y'all be good or be good at this May-HBM's Crypto Corner.